What's up, guys? Julian here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make Glasgow underground style tech house. As usual, you can get the full project files, samples, MIDI, presets. Every single thing from this track is available at the top of the description for just $5. Definitely go grab that. It really helps support me. If you guys enjoyed these videos and I've helped you out, definitely go grab these samples because you're getting an awesome template that will also help you take your tracks to the next level. Plus, it's going to really help support me. And yeah, thank you so much for the support, guys. And let's dive in. So, this is a loop from the intro. We're at 126 BPM, and it starts up here actually with the main hi-hat. So, we got two layers. We have a nice, 909, and then this punchier, more mid-range hi-hat, which is one of mine that I've layered. And so, typically, when you hear these kinds of tracks, you might think that it's just this hi-hat, right? Just that one, open 909 hi-hat. But you can hear that on its own. It has the kind of thing going on that you want, but it doesn't really have a lot of punch to it. Versus check out what happens if I bring in the second hi-hat. See, that's the thing that you don't always hear if you're listening. You can't always tell that's there, but you can hear the difference. That's just adding so much more punch to it and really making it stand out in the mix. And the thing is you could sit there all day with saturation and compression and wonder why this isn't getting as fat as this. At the end of the day, just taking two samples, one that's very focused in one range and one that's very focused in another, and putting them together is always going to sound better than all that over processing. Then we have some background percussion. I'll play this with this. So you can see it's this drum rack which just has a bunch of different sounds in it. And then this live percussion. And I think that's important. You want to combine the live percussion with the programmed percussion. You never want to use just loops, but you also never want to use just MIDI percussion, right? You need to have something live that's a loop in there to give it a more organic feel, and that's what this does. Then we have our tambourine, some background hi-hats. You can see these just kind of bounce around that main hi-hat there. We have some bongos, which that's another one of those ones you may not always notice, but you can hear it. Right, you can really hear that in there. It's adding a lot of groove. We also have these two little bonus snares, which are just adding some extra little hits in there. If I play them with the main hi-hat. Yeah, you can hear that. Then we have this live house loop. So again, just bringing in some more live percussion to give it a more organic feel. You can see when I turn that off, it doesn't have nearly as much groove and just power in the track. So it really works for that. And yeah, then we have the clap and snare. So you can see it's this very punchy clap layered with and also very punchy snare, and then you put them together and you get one. Right, it's super full sounding. But again, that snare makes a huge difference. It's just with the hi-hat up here. So yeah, then we have the low end. So you can hear we have a very groovy bass line here. And the reason why this is so groovy is because basically you're getting straight eighth notes, right? You're getting just dum 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 dum. And then down here, we just have a few 16th notes. So if you can do that, if you can set up a groove where it's focused around eighth notes, and then you have one little moment in there with the 16th notes adding some swing, that's what's making that work. And then also, you could do the opposite. You could have the whole thing be 16th notes, and then just do a moment with some carefully placed eighth notes. And that would also sound really groovy, but it's just that contrast there. And also, again, it's very simple. It's only 3 notes. We're thinking more about the subdivisions and about where the notes are placed than using too many notes. And honestly, like, I would even maybe do that, right? Like 2 notes, you know, because you're really just trying to create like a solid bass wave. And if you use too many notes, like if you start going like that and that, and then maybe that one's there, that's all in key. Like, this is all still in this F sharp minor scale here. We got our minor third, our fourth, our fifth, our minor seventh down here. But it's just not going to be as impactful because you're not really going to get that same kind of like feeling as you get when you're just focusing on a few notes. And then for the sound, this is made with operator. So we have a square wave with a bit of FM from a saw wave, actually. So here's what that sounds like. It's just a super fat waveform. And then I put a low pass filter with a bit of an envelope on it. And then we just have a compressor side chaining into the kick. And that's it for the bass. If you have a fat bass line, or you have a fat bass sound, and a good bass line that it's playing, you actually don't need too much processing. Just turn it up, you know, get it right up there in the mix. Then we have the kick. And yeah, same deal. This is just one of my kicks, super fat and punchy. And that's, again, you just get a fat kick, turn it up right, and you don't really need to have all this extra processing. So then we have the vocal. And you can see this is really simple processing wise. It's just going through a bit of echo and a bit of reverb. You can hear that on there. And again, this is one of those ones where it's like, you know, I can tell you all day, oh yeah, you know, put drum bus on the vocals, you know, put this like saturation, whatever. It's not really about that. It's about finding a really good sample. I think a lot of people are wondering like, what is like the proper vocal sample processing? Well, the truth is like, the processing should kind of be done, like, when you find it, like, you want to find something that already has that really good character, like, in this case, it's just a super clear vocal, there's a little bit of distortion on it, which sounds really good, but it's already in there, and then we're just bringing that into our track, rather than trying to find something that's, like, kind of whatever, and then add a little bit of extra processing. That's never gonna work. And yeah, it's just sitting in there nicely. And then we have kind of like these background sounds, right? So these are really important. These are the sounds that are going to fill out the track that aren't like in the main groove. Like, it's not the drums, it's not the vocals or anything. It's just like these little melodic things or little samples that are just going to add a lot more to the background. Because if you don't have these, it's going to be a bit boring. Like, if we just take this. Like, it's good. It's catchy, but you need that thing that's moving in the background, which is what these do. Right, so you can hear, like, when we play this on their own, they almost have, like, their own groove all together. So, this first one up here is just a simple FM donk with operator. And that's really just meant to work really nicely grooving off of the bass line and the kick. Right, you can hear it just adds more movement to that and kind of makes that a little bit more groovy. So then that sound is just made with operator. It's just 2 sine waves here. You can see the second one's an octave up with a bit of an envelope. And then I just have a high pass on it. We have this little disco sample, which is actually a longer sample. But you see, I just took that from the beginning, put a bit of echo on it. We have this little, like, sampled stab. You know, just a simple little, like, piano stab or something like that. And then I have this little wavetable down here, which is just playing F sharp. Again, that's the key we're in. You can hear this also grooves off of that little operator down. Right, you can hear you get a lot of movement between those two. And yeah, so this is made with wavetable. It's just a saw wave actually with this amp, which is like basically just a really short little like plucky amp, but yeah. You can hear it kind of gives it that little attack at the start, which gives it a little bit more groove, I think. And then I have a bit of reverb, like a really short one. And then it's just being sidechained to the kick. And that is it for those background sounds. And really, like, I think the best thing is when you get something like this, where you have two of them bouncing off of each other, and then that grooving with everything else in the track. And yeah, so that's gonna be it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed. As always, make sure to like this video as well as subscribe if you haven't already. And let me know what you think of this video in the comments. Like I said in the beginning, you can get this full project file, samples, MIDI, presets, every single thing from this video is available right in the top of the description. Definitely go grab that. It really helps support me. It's just $5. Plus, you get some of the best samples out there on the market for this style. You know, I've really put a lot of time into studying these tracks and understanding what's actually happening there and really showing you guys how the pros make their tracks. So if you want to make professional tracks, definitely go grab this at the top of the description. Thank you so much for the support, guys. Every little bit helps. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow with another video.